Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Have you ever dreamed of going up to outer space? Or maybe meeting other beings from another place? Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? Then you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it? You feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened. Listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. But then you wake up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball. But it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Shoot.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Flat Earth Podcast. I'm your co-host for now, Matt Long, and with me this time is Dave from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Dave, it's been a while since you and I have recorded. I had your good buddy on, Baller Dave.
Why do people
last episode
think he's my good buddy just because his name is Dave? Yes, I do let him use my computer. So I guess you could say he's a buddy, but he's not really a buddy.
His accent is similar to yours. I think people
not
assume
even close.
Not even close. Okay. Yeah, it was probably the worst podcast we've ever done.
You've ever done.
Yeah, I've ever done.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back personally.
All right. Happy to be here. Lots to talk about, I think. And how have you been? How's the farm? How's the clan going?
The farm is good.
Yeah.
We are. I actually just rebuilt the fence yesterday because the first fence looked like I built it, and it was the first fence I'd ever built to house chickens and goats and things like that. So had to rebuild some stuff. Did it yesterday, and yeah, it's looking really good. We're off to the races now. We got 40 something chickens, couple goats, couple bunnies, 4 ducks. We're thinking about getting some yaks.
Why does one get a yak?
Well, supposedly they are they're better than cows.
They're better as in their behavior or to munch on?
Well, to munch on, but also they take less grass than cows and produce more meat. So sounds like a win-win.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna eat meat, that's the way to do it.
That's right.
That is the way to do it. And fortunately or unfortunately, I do still eat some meat.
I think meat is totally acceptable.
Yeah, I actually don't really have a problem with it as long as, if you raise the animal right and, it's not in a industrial farm being tortured. That's a whole nother discussion that I don't really want to get into.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Oh, man, the hate from the vegans is coming.
Yeah, I'm recording right now.
Bring
We'll
her
be here
in.
in half an hour.
Bring her in here. I want to talk to her.
Hey, come on in. Sorry, Jess has come in to tell me that we're going to get a load of gravel or sand here in a second. Why don't you say hi?
Hello.
Jess, how you doing?
Dave, hi. Good to hear you.
Good. Are you wearing a hoodie today? Because it's hoodie season where you guys are.
Always hoodie season. I need this man's credit card, so where
All right.
is that?
Well, thanks
on the
for
shelf
interrupting
downstairs.
the show.
Do you need help or you got it?
I got it.
How about that? She's just going to take in a load of sand and go pay for it.
That's a real woman.
It is a real woman. I agree.
And how pregnant is she?
She is close to 30 weeks.
Okay.
So she's due at the end of October. And she's actually looking pregnant now. So it's.
And are you gonna birth at home like Mitchell
We
from
are.
Australia did?
As long as we're not on the road in the motorhome, we'll birth at home.
Otherwise, you'll birth in the motorhome.
Yeah, yeah.
This is fine. And will all of the other kids be gathered round?
Someone's got to catch.
Okay. Will you film it?
Probably won't film it.
Okay.
I don't know. There may be some pictures in there, but no. Unless she wants to live stream.
Oh, live stream would be good.
Or maybe we just do a podcast, but then no one to get to see it.
All right. Let's get on to the flat Earth stuff before people start complaining. And
Sure. So, I kind of bring like the biblical Christian view on this show, but you actually went on a Christian whistleblower show, or was it a Christian whistleblower show?
It's so funny. So the guy's name is Jeffrey Dougherty, and he calls himself the Christian whistleblower. I assumed he was because I've watched a bunch of his shows, never got into anything religious, but he was such a nice guy and had such a, his disposition was that which you would expect a Christian to be. And so I thought he was the Christian whistleblower. We're blowing the whistle on all of the stuff that's going on in the world. But literally, like, an hour before I was going on the show, I looked and I realized he's the Christian whistleblower, where he's blowing the whistle on Christians not being a real thing. Christians being the fault. So I'm a moron. But I went on and he was super nice. It was a great conversation, and we didn't get into anything Christian. I mean, anything, that was religious.
Controversial.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He wanted to talk about flat Earth.
He wanted to talk about flat Earth, and
you led with a new proof that you like to lead with.
Yeah. So one of the proofs that ballers are losing proofs every day. That when people say, "What about southern flights?" The flight from Santiago to Australia, and that has pretty much thoroughly been explained. There's a playlist on my channel, DITRH, called Southern Flights. But the short story is that the plane that does the nonstop from, it's on Qantas Airlines. It's a special type of plane. There's only a couple of pilots that are allowed to fly it. It has heat-resistant paint, I believe. And we don't know how fast it goes. But, let's say it just goes 600, miles an hour, 650, whatever. It flies at 40,000 plus feet, where there's eastward winds that circle around the flat Earth, that, are 200 to 300 plus miles per hour. So you add that tail speed on to 650. Now you're at 850, and those flights make perfect sense. But that's interesting.
Wow, yeah.
That's interesting by itself. But then you say, on your imaginary spinning globe, those winds, which are real, they admit they're up there and they admit they're going east, are outrunning the spin of the Earth by that speed, 200 to 300 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Think about
wow.
that. If the Earth and the magical gravity was holding on to the air, which is impossible because, a little summer breeze, the wind goes left and it goes right and it goes forwards and it goes backwards. Where's the gravity holding it still? But it's supposedly in the ball argument, it's all being held, pulled to the center of the Earth. The Earth is spinning. Well, those upper level winds have to be going even faster than the spin because their radius is bigger than the radius. I mean, their radius, I was right, is bigger than the radius of the Earth. How can they would lag behind, if anything? They would lag behind, but they're
certainly would think so.
They're outrunning the alleged spin of the Earth. Game over, right there. Earth is flat.
Yeah, I'd like someone to shed some light on that for me.
Yeah, and I've brought it up many times to ballers, and I just get that fluoridated stare.
Fluoridated stare, nice. Well, you interrupted my segue a little bit. I was saying someone should shed some light on it to bring up the light video that you made about the sun.
Oh yeah, did you like that one?
I did. I liked it a lot. And was that the one you premiered?
Yeah. So
shortest premiere in the history of premieres.
Well, because it was basically, for those that you haven't seen it, check it out on my channel. I'll link it in the video below this podcast. I basically got my iPhone, put it on the counter, and filming upwards, and I got a pen light and held it blinding it, and it looked just like the sun. You can't really see anything else. And so I made a video about, things that people say about the sun, and then in the end I said the only thing that we can spoiler alert, by the way. The only thing that we can truly say is that it's a light, and then I tipped it over so everybody can see that it was a light. And so far, nobody guessed it was a light. It was a flashlight, and they all thought it was the sun. Everyone I sent it to.
Maybe they didn't guess because the video was less than 2 minutes long.
It was 1 minute and 15 seconds.
And you premiered it.
And I did it as a premiere. What was funny is people were in the live chat for 2 hours before the premiere. 30 minutes before the premiere, there was 170 people in there. I forget the number. It was over 100, and they were all getting ready for this premiere, and then just before it started, and the premiere has a 2-minute countdown when it goes live. And so just towards the end of the countdown, I said, everyone pay attention to the first minute and a half. It's very important. So they watch, the chat slowed down a little bit, and then boom, DITRH, it's over. And everyone's like, what? It was fantastic. And people were like, that's it. And there was people like Nathan Oakley was in there, I think, defending me, saying, hey, man, he delivered the message in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Now you got the rest of the day free. Be appreciative. And, I could have sent that same message in a 2-hour video, but who's got time for that?
I don't.
So that was a
Especially
lot of
if
fun.
I was already there 2 hours early.
I figured since I was deceiving them with the light, I might as well make it even funnier by doing a premiere 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
But I don't think I could ever do it again. Now, it's funny, in the chat, Ace McLeod, about a half an hour before, goes, is this premiere longer than 5 minutes? And my response was, ha, 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 that's funny.
He was on to you.
Well, but everyone's like, oh, okay, it's longer than 5 minutes. Well, ha, 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 that's funny. I would never do a 5-minute premiere.
Minute 15 seconds, that's a different story.
Yeah. So
are people mirroring it? For example, is the new channel DATRH mirroring it? DARTH.
No, DATRH. I wrote down.
Yeah,
DATRH. Let's talk about that in a second. Yeah, there are a couple. Someone already translated it into Spanish, which I like. Anyone that wants to translate my videos. So a while ago on the podcast, I said to people, because of the YouTube censorship, when you write flat earth, you get the opposite of flat earth. I said, people, take my videos, I said, and then, make them, name them something else. And so this guy made a new channel called DATRH, right? I don't know what the A stands for. He told me. It was kind of funny. Deep around the rabbit hole. I like it. All right, let's assume it's deep around the rabbit hole. And he basically took my exact videos and just made the title an anti-flat earth title. Like, the International Space Station is not fake.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's every time one pops up on my feed, I'm like, oh, what is this dumb video? And then I go and I'm like, oh, it's my video. It's pretty funny. So subscribe to DATRH.
Yeah, we need to get his subs up.
Yeah, his subs are very low. His views are very low. Some of the examples of the video names are the lunar wave proves the heliocentric model.
Nice.
The real shill in the moon. The real shill in the moon. I don't know how that one works. Let me just pull up a couple of other names. They're pretty funny. Oh, he's got a lot now. He's been cranking them up. Zero G cuts on the International Not Fake Station. The International Not Fake Station again. Everything is curvature, flat Earth debunked. How the sun sets on a globe Earth. It's I love it, and it's confusing the heck out of the Globers. They don't know what to do.
Awesome.
And maybe it'll get recommended in YouTube's feeds by the way he's doing it.
Nice. Well, someone who seemed a little confused was Andrew Lanks in his interview with the radio station. Was it in Austin?
Yeah, the morning show in Austin. Andrew Lanks, alleged friend of Yahweh YouTube channel. It just says Friends of Yahweh, but
Round and Curvy. If people have seen Round and Curvy,
yeah, Round and Curvy. He does so many good things. So he's friends with these morning show hosts that have had him on before. and they had him on. They immediately diverted to other conspiracies. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in JFK? Do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? Andrew mentioned Sandy Hook, and they got triggered like you've never.
Man.
And I told Andrew, I said, Andrew, when they ask you these questions, just say that's not something I've looked into. Just divert, and get back to flat Earth. But these guys, they don't look at anything. They just believe. And they took callers. I got on. They had a couple callers before me that were, ball earthers asking the same dumb questions. And I tried to just give one example. I talked about angular resolution, and the guy goes, my mind doesn't work that way. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not good at math. And I was giving like the simplest explanation. And that is the problem with this world is people they refuse to think. And they just want to believe. And I say that all the time. But it was, I'd like to say it was fun, but it wasn't that fun. The guy said I was a really nice guy. But that was it. Someone will put it up once the recording comes out. But these guys will never wake up.
The only thing worse than hearing a rough flat Earth interview is listening to someone I know, and you're just like bleeding for them.
Andrew was a little deer in the headlights, but it was okay. Got me on, and I'm not trying to wake up those radio hosts. I'm trying to wake up the people listening. They had like 75,000 people that listened to that show, so I kept plugging things to listen to. And I talked about YouTube censorship, and I did mention the app that they can, if they really want to look, that's a great place to find information.
Yeah, speaking of YouTube censorship, you were talking about typing in Jaron's name and it wouldn't even pop up.
Yeah, I normally when I type in Jaronism, his channel pops up, and then all of the videos down below are PsyOp Man Dan and just all of the propaganda. But the other day I searched him and his channel didn't even come up.
Do you know what he got kicked off PayPal for?
Yeah, for poking at NASA. They came to him and said, "We don't like what you're doing. You're banned from PayPal, and this decision is final. You've broken our terms," and they won't tell him what the terms are.
So it's not like he posts anti-NASA stuff on PayPal.
He doesn't swear. He doesn't. He's just putting his opinion out there, and people send him donations because they want to.
Here's the interesting thing, though. PayPal was started by SpaceX guy Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So NASA would be like his competitor. So I think he would want NASA bashing going on.
I never even put that together. But we know that Elon is just a puppet. He started PayPal out of nowhere, and then he basically took over NASA by saying, "Hey, I could do this. I took 3 hours of astrophysics. 3 hours,
and I give TED Talks.
Yeah, and he's just a puppet out there. Who even knows if he's real?
Oh yeah, he is classified as an actor on IMDb, but he's been in movies, so I can see where that could possibly come from. Anyway, so I have no good transition other than, maybe we've got a Tesla flying by the moon. Hey, speaking of the moon, let's talk about this notion of how when you're looking at the moon and we've got kind of a little bit of cloud cover, but you're seeing the moon coming through and you can see how the moon is lighting up the clouds around it.
Yeah.
Would people, say 5 miles down the road, see the same clouds lighted up?
So when you look at the moon, full moon, nearly full moon, and there's scattered clouds, you'll see that just the clouds that are near the moon are lit up from your point of view. But everybody sees the moon in a unique position to themselves. So let's say
which by the way, the moon should be roughly the size of the United States, right? In the heliocentric model.
Yeah, roughly the size of the United States at 238,000 miles away.
Right.
And it should light up all of the clouds, from that distance. Just take a light and take a bunch of things and hold it close and hold it far, and you'll see that it's lighting up just those local clouds. The question is, if you were 5 miles away, those clouds that I'm seeing lit up aren't in line with the moon with you. They're in line, with my moon's position. So even though I'm seeing those clouds, let's say there's one shaped like, Bugs Bunny or whatever. And that Bugs Bunny cloud to you is 5 miles, to the side, but you're going to see the moon lighting up other clouds. So
Right.
are those clouds
Are
even
they-
really there?
Are they lit up?
Are,
That's,
are they
weird.
lit up? Or is it just our perception of them being lit up? I say, you know how, biblically speaking, they say, the heavens above and whatever is
Yep.
below. I think those heavens are a lot closer than people are imagining. I think they're right where the clouds are.
I think you bring an interesting point.
Yeah, and the clouds that are up there are amazing. Water. This plane. Water, is the most important thing, and water holds memory. We're 80-90% water or whatever it is, and most of the earth is water, and we need fresh water delivered to make everything grow. The chance, do we just count on a random cycle, where water gets delivered to where it needs to be, or is the water delivery intelligently designed somehow?
I'd say it's got to be intelligently designed.
Yeah, and think about this: you've been in a plane, you've flown through a nice thick cumulus cloud, right?
Yep.
And but you see a little moisture on the windows, but you're not like pounding through water, right? You're going
Right.
through a fog. That's
Right.
That's all it is. But when we have heavy downpours, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, where it's just coming down in millions of tons of water, that's not coming from those clouds. It's coming through those clouds. But where's it coming from? Is it the waters above? Is it that low pressure allows the waters above to bring water down to us?
My brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's what the guys in the morning show said.
No, I think it's amazing, and you've brought that point up before about hurricanes and how they're just giant low pressure systems, and they're these huge vortexes. It would be very interesting and tremendous amounts of rainwater, right?
So you got this low pressure in the center. The water pours in from above and then hits those hurricane winds and gets scattered around. It makes
amazing.
perfect sense. So those, the twisting of the center of the hurricane, that's the portal. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's connecting or allowing the waters from above to come in and energize this world we live in.
Downspout.
As my video with the light goes to show, we don't know anything about what's above us other than speculating on what we see. And
Right.
all we can say about those luminaries in the sky, stars, the ISS, whatever, is it's a light in the sky. The sun,
light
the
in
moon.
the sky.
Yep.
That's all we know.
Yep, that's all we know.
Speaking of water, you wanted to talk a little bit about this notion of equatorial bulge versus perfectly still lake. And I'm not sure what an equatorial bulge is. I know that since I got married, have been working on my own personal equatorial bulge in the stomach region and trying to get it down. But I've just decided I'm not a diet person, I think.
I have a solution for you, and I'll tell you about it if you want.
Okay.
And it's the greatest thing ever. But let me answer the question, the equatorial bulge. So mainstream science, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they say that because of the spin of the Earth, the water is pushed to the equator, and it actually bulges 14 miles high. Have you heard that?
Yes, I've heard that.
All right, so the equatorial bulge is 14 miles high. Have you ever seen Mount Everest? Have you ever gone?
I've seen pictures of it.
Okay, you've seen pictures of it. So there's lots of So there's lots of pictures of Mount Everest, and how many different places?
How tall is Mount Everest?
How many different places do you think is a good spot to take a picture of Mount Everest? A lot, right? There's great viewing places. Mount Everest is only 5 miles tall. So this equatorial bulge is 3 times the height of Mount Everest. I think we brought this up the last time we talked, but 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Where is the best viewing spot of that bulge?
Somewhere near the equator.
It's flat, look at those islands out on the equator in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives. They're like a foot or two high, and there's no bulge or anything. They don't flood.
Sounds like they're a foot or two higher than 3 times the height of Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like too. Something things Baller Dave would say for 200, please. God, I hate that guy. All right.
Ugh, he's so annoying. Goodness.
What else?
You mentioned how you were at a breakfast the other day and you saw this father reading a book about planets to his kid, and you almost ripped it out of his hand.
It was a father with I don't know how old the kid was, but doesn't speak much, maybe a year and a half, under 2 or whatever, somewhere around there. Kid sitting up, eating with his fingers like a kid, but the kid was a little, needed some attention, and the father whips out this massive, colorful NASA planets book, and the kid's eyes are just like, wow. And he's like, this is Neptune and this is Venus, and telling the stories. And I'm sure that book, which probably costs like $30 to make, was on sale for $2.99 to make sure everybody would get it.
Right.
And I just looking at it, and the indoctrination, Paige is kicking me under the table. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't do it.
That man should
Don't
be
do
ashamed
it. I'm
of
like,
himself.
can I film this? And I'm like, oh, filming a little kid, I'll get arrested. I'm like, I wanted to film it and just say it's hopeless.
Man,
It's not hopeless, by the way. People are waking up more and more and more. So.
they are. And speaking of massive books, there's also a couple massive videos that Taboo Conspiracy sent you. 12 hours each, I think, from Hangman 1128's channel.
Yeah, so those of you that are into mud floods, Tartaria, this guy is looking at rock formations and looking at how giant cedars decay, regular cedars, and that's exactly the same thing. And he's showing that these rocks are the rings of trees, and some of the bases of these trees are 10, 20 miles wide. And
Wow.
I don't think it's deniable. Now, this video could have been edited down to 2 hours, maybe an hour, or if I was
Could you
doing
get it into a 5-minute version?
I can
and
get it
post
into 15 minutes, but I wouldn't
Okay.
do that. It's too long for me. It was worth going through, and the guy had some shorter videos. So check out Hangman 1128. It's on the Taboo Conspiracy channel. It's the only 12-hour video there. That's part 1.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it'll only be a matter of time probably before that topic is starting to be censored. Kind of like we talked about earlier. Not be able to find Jeranism's name on YouTube. Sometimes when you search it, and one thing that is in common when you search flat earth and it pulls up all these debunking videos is there's a gentleman who seems to be in every one of them by the name of Mark Sargent. Do we call Mark a shill, or what do we do?
He's not in every one, but he's in a lot. Mark is the first guy to put his phone number out there, to make himself available. Has done many interviews. Early on, Mark probably has said some things that he doesn't agree with now, but we all learn, new things based on new information. And because he's in so many pieces, there's a lot of hit pieces with clips of him in it because he puts himself out there. Jaren's in those videos. I'm in some of those videos. It's things are twisted out of context. So the people are saying, oh, everyone in these videos is a shill. That's nonsense. So it's just something to think. You have to think instead of react. And so many people are used to hearing what someone else says and then just going with it because they don't have to think that way.
Yeah, totally agree. I think, and usually those things are said by people who don't know the individual that they're talking about. They've never sat down with them, never had a conversation with them, and doesn't see that they're real people that actually care about the topic just as much as they do, and they happen to have a higher profile in the movement.
Yeah, true.
Probably because they're doing a lot more than most people in the movement. So you want to talk about a new campaign, something that makes you healthier and saves you money and supports creators. What? Let's talk about this.
So
is this what you were referring to earlier? When you dodged my Equatorial Bulge solution.
Which no, I'll talk
King
about that. I'll talk about that also. So how we've been talking about support what you like, or what you like goes away, and it's really difficult not only to get subs. Like when I lost my channel, I still haven't reached the same number of subs as I had back then, and I'm putting out way more content. It's even hard to get somebody to sub to your channel for free. So getting people to cough up a couple dollars is even tougher, right? It's just it's a psychological thing, and I'm part of that. Like, there's people that I like that I just never supported. I just made a list the other day of all of the channels that subscription channels that I pay for, and it actually scared me a little bit. I'm like, wow, I better utilize these. It's not that much, but it adds up. So have you heard about intermittent fasting on the health benefits of it?
I have.
With your equatorial bulge.
Yes.
So, humans aren't
and it's working. I'm doing it actually. It's working.
How long do you do it for?
I try to eat within from like 12 to 6.
Oh, so you do that on a daily basis. So you have
Yes.
a span of not eating. There's other people that do it for a couple days at a time. So this I've known about it, and I've been looking into it, and I've been hearing many stories about it. But I ran into an old friend the other day who I hadn't seen in, I don't know, probably 10 years, and so we're standing there talking, and he said that he was sick. He had Lyme disease. He didn't know what he had for 10 years, and it got to the point where he couldn't even go up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk a block. He thought he was going to die. The doctors didn't know what to do, and then finally they diagnosed him with Lyme disease, which is a whole nother story. And so he's like, oh, great. Now we know what it is. You can cure it. And the doctor's like, no, you've had it for 10 years. This isn't curable. And, Lyme disease leads to all of these other things they call diseases, which are just symptoms of Lyme disease, but that's another show. So he started researching and did intermittent fasting. He did a 3-day fast with water, and immediately he had his energy back. He was able to move and think and work. And then a little while later, he did a 1-week dry fast, which is no food, no water.
No water, wow.
And all of his Lyme symptoms are gone.
Amazing.
All of them. And so think about that psyop. What has been drilled into our head from early childhood that you cannot live for more than a week without food or 3 days without water?
Right.
It's told us again and again and again. It's not true. Because when you do this, your body resets. And I was like, not even just a little water? And he's like, no, because you drink the water, your body has to process the water and everything. And he cured himself from Lyme disease by doing a 1-week intermittent fasting, a 1-week fasting.
Wow.
And he said he felt terrific during it. It's all in your head. So the big psyop is, that we can't eat. You'll die if you don't eat, and you'll die quicker if you don't drink. I totally get it. And he looked terrific. He looked healthy, vibrant, amazing. So here's my thing. Here's my idea is, by the way, I love my feeding times. It's really hard for me to fast. I love eating.
Yeah.
So I will do it. I've done many juice fasts, but I'm going to try this dry fasting for I'll try a 3-day one first. So it'll be interesting. I'll probably do it.
Try.
No, I'll probably do it with a little bit of water the first time, and then I'll try it without water. But here's my thing. Do an intermittent fasting once a week or even once a month. And that intermittent is skip lunch one day. That's barely fasting, okay? What does the average lunch cost? $10?
$10.
Yeah. So take half of that and subscribe to a channel that you like. Patreon, or if they have a pay site, take that $5. That's one lunch a month, okay? And the result of that, 1, you'll be healthier and thinner. 2, you'll have $5 more in your pocket than you had before. And 3, you'll be supporting what you like. It's a win-win-win.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So what if you do that 4 times a month? Once a week. So that's that's once a week. You're just skipping a lunch. Take half of that money. Now you can subscribe to 4 different channels at $5 a month. Okay?
Or you could take up smoking.
That's true. Thanks, but I'd rather support what I like, or what I like goes away. Sure. And people, we have to start doing this. YouTube is coming down right now. They're tying these shooters to, he posted on this conspiracy blog. So now they're saying conspiracy people are dangerous, and they might become shooters. Okay.
Did you see that report? I'm not sure if it's real or not, but it talks about the FBI calling conspiracy theorists domestic terrorists.
Yeah, it is real.
Israel
is real. I have a problem with that.
Okay.
They they're trying to connect us to domestic terrorists, and they're scaring people from doing stuff. People are seeing this like, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm not going to say anything. And that's what they want. They want us to just sit quietly and not spread the word.
Well, yeah, and that happened. Wasn't the lady who went into, was it Google or YouTube with a gun, who was really weird, looked like a robot? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. That one was strange. These things are, in my opinion, brought on by the elite to create the solution for what they're trying to do. You look into these latest shootings, because this is going to be on YouTube. I'm going to be very bland here. Is you look at all of the people that were the V words, and look at their Facebook profiles. They're fake Facebook profiles. They
look like troll profiles.
They're all friends with each other, and they have grammatical errors, and they're new. There are barely any postings. They're posting, after the incident, which is, who's doing that.
Are they asking people to invest in currency opportunity?
I didn't even get that far. It's just the fact that all of them have, suspect profiles. So,
wow.
That's
not that we don't believe the mainstream narrative.
Earth is a globe, and people go in and drive 6 hours to shoot people they don't know.
That's right. Pray for the victims.
Wait, did you see that? Well, since we're on this topic, I'm going to bring it up.
Just be careful.
I will. So, do you remember that guy? There was a colored gentleman. Is that the right thing to say, or can I say black? Okay, there was a black guy in New York that was peddling single cigarettes on the street to make money, which is against the law. And the cop,
know a black guy.
I don't know him. I know the story. Okay,
that was a reference from Mike Cannon, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole.
Thanks. So they came and they arrested him, and they ended up pinning him up against the building and holding him so tight that they choked him to death, and he died. Okay, for selling cigarettes. Now you look at the guy that was arrested in El Paso. Is it El Paso or the mall, the whatever? Not the Walmart.
Let's just say West Texas.
Yeah, West Texas. They show him being arrested. He's standing there in his khaki pants, which aren't the same pants that the security camera caught.
Maybe someone ripped the cargo pockets off. We're not saying anything suspicious.
So, but he's standing there with his hands behind his back, and the cop has a clipboard in his hand, and they're questioning him like he drove through a stop sign. How come he's not splayed out on the ground with 10 cops pointing guns at his head while someone's stepping on his neck? He just shot up a whole store of people.
Allegedly, and not that we're judging what the police did. Nor are we questioning the number of shooters.
He's like, oh, you got me. All right, here you go. My hands are behind my back. Don't throw me to the ground. It's just,
don't look for anybody else.
It's just use your brains, people. All right.
Yeah.
Back to flat Earth.
Well, we never left it.
Well, my point was, how could he stand there if the Earth was spinning?
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. So long conversation there to say support the guys you like to watch. And by the way, we're not asking for your money, Dave.
No, we don't. We don't want any of your money. If people say, where should I send it? I say send it to Jaron. That guy works hard. He's trying to do this full time. And if he could, man, the amount of stuff he would be able to get out would be amazing. So Jaronism, his Venmo is at Jaronism. Send him a note. Send him your lunch so you're not getting an equatorial bulge like Matt, and you'll be healthier.
Exactly. I'm going to start sending him my lunch just because I don't want an equatorial bulge.
Very good.
Any bigger.
Yeah. Every time you skip a meal, take half the cost of that meal and send it to somebody. You'll feel terrific, and emotionally and physically.
I will say it's amazing how much easier it is to not eat when you don't start eating. If you don't eat breakfast, it's easier to not eat lunch. If you don't eat lunch, it's easier to not eat dinner. But if you eat breakfast, you're going to be starving by 10:30.
And then in your head, when you go to sleep, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be starving. I'm not going to be able to sleep. You sleep like a rock. It's amazing. Yeah. You sleep so well, and your body doesn't have to work at digesting food. So I'm going to start doing that weekly, and I'm going to take that money. I'm going to take the full price of the lunch and start sending it to channels that I like.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I think that's a good plan. Why don't we take a break so I can go get some food, and then we'll come back and do some speak pipes.
Yeah, we don't have that many. It should be fun.
Well, the reason we don't have many, people complain about us never doing shows. But this is like the second show we've done in 2 weeks, or that I've done in 2 weeks. So I don't know what all the complaining's about.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So, okay, we'll be back.
All right. Thanks.
Following announcement has been paid for by
The Flat Earth
Podcast.
You want to leave a digital voicemail for us? Head over to theflatearthpodcast.com and click on the blue link that reads, "Got a question? Send us a message."
You can do it from your iPhone or from your computer. First time you do it on your cellular phone, you'll have to download a little app. But after that, you can leave us all kinds of messages. If you want to be anonymous, you can make up a name, make up an email address. We don't care. We just want to hear what you have to say.
We'll do our best to play or answer these questions and comments on future episodes right here on the Flat Earth Podcast. Download the SpeakPipe app and check us out at theflatearthpodcast.com.
The Flat Earth Podcast.
If you're watching this audio on YouTube right now and you're not familiar with the world of podcasting, there's a far better way to listen to the Flat Earth Podcast each and every week.
Think of it like your TiVo or your DVR is to your television. You subscribe to whatever show that you like. Whenever a new episode comes out, it records it, downloads it, and notifies you that there's a new episode for easy listening anywhere. Another great feature on most podcast players is you could speed up if you want to hear stuff even faster, or more importantly, it has a jump back and jump forward 30 seconds so you could skip annoying announcements like this.
We're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and so many more. If we're not on your favorite podcast app, send us a message and let us know to make sure we will be.
The Flat Earth Podcast.
My fellow citizens, I got some great news. Not fake news. This is great news. It gives me great pleasure to introduce and endorse from the Flat Earth Podcast. I love these guys. A breakthrough for the geocentric world. I want everybody to have this. It's the new Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock. Right on your phone. That's where it goes. It's beautiful. I got it. Melania loves it. Ivanka, too, are crazy about it. You know, all that money was spent on NASA, and they couldn't come up with this. It shows me right where I am. I know where the moon is. The season's got everything. It's got the wall, not that wall, the ice wall. You gotta get this. The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock. I'm Donald Trump, and I approve of this app. Tremendous technology, so simple. Baron, make it work for me, will you? This kid's so clever. Kids are clever. But CNN, so stupid.
Yeah.
Hello, boys. Jiminy Glick here with my SpeakPipe Special Edition. Flat Earth, it's so hip right now, you know. It's like, forget the Golden Globes. Give me the pancakes. I always say that. And what about celebrities with Flat Earth? Who has been to space that we know? Armstrong, of course, and Buzz, but they're Freemasons. And we know we can't trust them, can we? And how about Harrison Ford? Han Solo. Don't you think we could send him up to the space station and he could look down and give us his global warming report? He gets so angry. Oh, that's right. There is no space station, is there? And when are you guys going to do an interview with Mark? Or is Mark Sargent persona non grata? He's got to be Flat Earth's biggest celebrity, don't you think so? A little crazy and unhinged. And what's with all those funny hats? No one really understands him. Well, that's all, boys. Dixie's calling me, and I just hope the real Jiminy Glick doesn't sue.
Yeah.
And, you know, listen, I have callers on hold every day who say we shouldn't vaccinate. And unlike most dumb conspiracies like Flat Earth, this one actually could kill us because these fucking people refuse to believe scientists. You know, I don't care if you want to believe in the Flat Earth. You want to walk around like a moron, that's fine. You're not hurting me.
Yeah.
And me and DITR Dearth, the Flat Earth guy, we've been texting. We're doing the stream this week. He's an awesome guy. 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 So that's happening.
Yeah.
I love the Flat Earth Podcast. You know that. It's so good. And now they tell me, you got to listen to this one. They show me the picture. Looks like poop on the plane.
I say, I don't want to poop on the plane. I don't want to pee on the bed. That's not right. But now I understand. It's the Do Me Life podcast. And I like that. Like the Pound Me Too movement. Is this X-rated? Who knows? I'm Donald Trump, and I endorse Poop on the Plane's Do Me Life podcast. Take your shots, people. Measles shots, moon shots, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. Do you really have to go get lunch, or are you ready to record?
No, that was a fasting joke.
I didn't even get that.
King Dakar.
Oh, what's wrong with you? All right. All right, let me pull up the speak pipes and bring us back.
All right, welcome back. We are going to do some speak pipes. We've got how many do we have? Just a few?
We got less than 10.
Sweet. All right.
7 or 8.
7 miles an hour.
Okay, ready? And here's our first one is from Jake from Connecticut. Interesting.
Close.
Hey guys, Jake from Connecticut here. I just wanted to take a minute to say that I love your show and that the two of you have great chemistry, and I hope that the show continues on for many years to come. Hopefully at a more frequent interval. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know life gets crazy for everybody. Seriously, though, great show. Keep up the great work. Hopefully you get some more guests on and that you guys can guest on other shows. I was quite surprised when you popped over on the Surreal Talk podcast, as I've been listening to that pretty much since that show started in, 2016. Well, I've only been listening to the Flat Earth podcast for maybe a year or so. But, again, I love your show. Keep up the great work. And I do have one quick question. There are all sorts of different conspiracy theories out there, and Flat Earth has largely been considered the most extreme. Even the reptilian people don't believe in a flat Earth. They believe in a hollow Earth. Could the Earth be flat and hollow? Who knows? Anyway, what do you guys think is a more crazy conspiracy than the flat Earth? What's the thing that's over the top, over the edge of your personal atmospheric dome? Again, thanks for such a great show, and you guys rock.
What a great speak pipe. I think, first of all, he sounded great, like he could do his own show. But his story didn't jive. He was saying he really liked us, but that we should have more guests on. What do you think about that?
Interesting.
Yeah. No, that was Jake, right? Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Good speak pipe. What's crazier than flat Earth? I don't know how anything could possibly be crazier than flat Earth, just because everything is contained within the flat Earth.
I know it's crazier than flat Earth. The craziest conspiracy of all. Conspiracy is something that has absolutely no proof. The spinning ball. That's crazier than flat Earth.
There you go.
That is a fact. I mean, there's nothing about the spinning ball that makes any sense. There is no proof. It's it's being pushed by the elite. It is the definition of a conspiracy.
Very nice.
The globe Earth. The question about flat and hollow Earth. Hollow Earth, I think, is a distraction to literally the underworld of flat Earth. I believe that there is most likely a denser world below us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Bible talks about the waters beneath and the creatures or the things that inhabit it, and I'll have to go find that verse. But there are things below us, and the earth has to be hollow in order for that to happen. And it's possible that there's stuff in the water under the hollow earth, but when I say hollow earth, I'm not talking about the hollow earth like the hollow earth theorists would describe it.
Yeah, flat earth with layers below it, and they've run into buildings and all sorts of stuff underneath the earth, and that could be mud flood levels, but who knows what's down below there, because we can't really get below 8 miles, or we can't actually get below 8 miles. The other thing he said is, I hope the show goes on for many years. Well, I hope this world goes on for many years.
Yeah. Who knows how much longer?
Yeah.
Maybe December 21st.
I'm going to rush. Oh, there we go. Ball. I'm going to rush to get this one out to beat the next reset. So
nice. Yeah, right. And you were speaking of mud floods. Can I just say towers to the dome, towers to the zone, boy?
A lot of people are using that, Towers to the Dome. UAP has been doing some great mud flood stuff. So if you're not subscribed to the UAP channel, he's been analyzing some pictures that make absolutely no sense from the history we've been told. Next one is...
He's an acquired taste.
Yeah. Next one is from... You don't like him?
No, I like him. The first time I watched him, I was like, why did you send me this video? And then now, like, he's totally, what's the word? Addictive.
Yeah, very addictive. Listen with caution. Next one is from Dan.
Why do things go down? This is explained on the globe Earth by gravity, a force which pulls things towards the center of mass. However, on a flat Earth, there isn't any gravity. So what force is pulling us downwards? It cannot be explained by density and buoyancy because they are not forces. They do not determine in which direction things go. So what force? Why do things go down and not left or right or up or down if there isn't any gravity?
Well, Dave, I think you are most qualified to answer this question with all the arguments with Jaron on whether there's a force or not.
Jaron kind of came around. What causes things to go down? I say it's that the Earth has a negative charge to it. The dome above us has a positive charge, and the negative charge attracts us. It establishes a down, buoyancy and density. We've heard it a million times. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's also possible that just somehow this place was created with up and down, and it's easier to go down than up.
I'll take things a Bible-believing Christian would say for 300. The next one is from
the Daily Double.
From Tracy.
Hi, my name's Tracy. I've been watching a lot of your videos and the secret energy courses and the videos, and I've got to you through Santos Bonacci. I've been watching him for a while, but I feel like I've just had a breakthrough and I want to take it further, but I really need to connect with some people like you and the aforementioned. My email is Tracy Walker, TRACIE Walker 47@outlook.com. Please can you contact me so I can email you back? Because I've tried to find an email from you, I can't find one anywhere.
So I think she's looking for Dave Murphy, which is not me. And maybe I will email her how to reach out to Dave Murphy because I don't think Santos knows who I am.
She did want to connect with some people. Maybe we could link her up to the Flat Earth people finder.
Yeah, which seems to be down right now, but maybe I think they're transferring its location.
Yeah, because I asked you to send it to me,
and I didn't send it because I haven't had time.
Okay.
And the Flat Earth People Finder is at zoomtruth.com if it's up, so that's how you get it. But I think something's happening with a little transfer of web domains there. All right,
Got
Tracy, not Dave Murphy. So next one is from Andrew.
Dave, when I heard typed your name in YouTube now, David Weiss, your interviews no longer come up, and I just thought that was pretty interesting that they're even hiding your name on YouTube, which is crazy. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, YouTube censorship, anything spewing the truth is now hidden. The book burning is complete.
Is your last name EI or IE?
EI. Like old McDonald?
Yeah. E-I-E-I-O. I see some stuff on here. Not to be confused with White Associates, which if you open, you're going to go down some rabbit hole.
All right.
I talk about, nor would I support.
Next
Weiss
one
Associates.
is from Laszlo.
Hi, I believe that the sun is in our firmament, just like the Bible describes. Therefore, it is close and not 93 million miles away. But my question is, if that's the case, why would it get colder as we go higher up, seeing that we would be getting closer to that heat source?
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily higher up is getting closer. You have to kind of go towards the heat source, towards the sun to get warmer. If you're going up, that's not necessarily towards that kind of focal point that is the sun. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. As you go up, that focal point is moving and you're getting into thinner air. I don't know how to really explain it, but it's like if you use a magnifying glass and you have that point, you're right on the surface of something. Well, if you move up, it's going to get cooler, right?
Right.
That's how I would explain it. Next one. This one is from Sunscreen Annie.
Yes.
You're the sunscreen, Annie. Right now, here I go, and I love the summer, and I have not done sunscreen this year, and I'm so fucking happy about it. And my alarm is going off right now, and I'm recording this, but I don't care because I don't know how to record. I'm just doing it, and I will just say I'm okay with you two not making any podcasts so recently because it's summer. Everyone is busy, so cheers up for me, and. Scheiße. Have a good evening and day and whatever time you're recording this.
Yeah, somebody that gets
sunscreen,
it.
Somebody that finally gets it.
It's like, hey, it's summer. No podcasts. I get it. That's cool. Enjoy yourself. Go out in the sun and don't use sunscreen.
Sounds like maybe she's German. She's European. They get the notion of, long holidays and enjoying the good weather.
Remember last time she called, she was so concerned about sunscreen and getting sunburned, and we gave her our opinion and she took it.
Pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. Sunscreen Annie. That was good. Thanks for calling, Sunscreen Annie. We got two more. Andrew. Is it the same Andrew?
Hello, this is Buffalo Bear. Dave, you are the tour guide of Flat Earth. And I was just wondering, you know how they had that Go Fast rocket go up at night and see the moon when it was supposed to be on the other side of the Earth? If they could do that at nighttime and see the sun on the other side of the Earth and prove that the Earth is flat. Good luck, and that's all I got.
So the Go Fast rocket went up during the day, and it was able to see the moon in the distance where the moon was over Australia. But if you really look at that on a globe, yeah, you know what? It might be able to work, although it's a globe. It doesn't work, but it's not the strongest argument. Who's the guy that does the balloon launches? Not Dwayne Kellum. Dan. I'm spacing on his name.
Tiger Dan.
No, not Tiger Dan. Come on. There's a bunch where he can see the sun lighting up part of the Earth, but the problem is you can't get up high enough, and the distance of the sun, it just compresses into the horizon.
Dan Dimension.
Dan Dimensions. Yes, thank you. Yeah. It compresses into the horizon, and you can see the dome of light that it's fluorescing, creating the daylight. If you look at those videos long and hard, you realize that, the Earth is stationary flat and the sun is local. So, yeah, there's proof there. But, again, you have to really look and think.
That's the tough part.
Thoughts?
Totally on board with it.
Okay. And the last one is from BD. Hello, Flat Earth Podcast. This is Baller Dave. I appreciate you guys having me on the show and Paul on the plane having me on his stupid show. But the backlash has just been out of control. You guys don't want to learn anything. You guys are fucking idiots. I hate the show. I'm no longer going to listen to it. I try to help you guys out by going on your stupid live streams, and as soon as I say something helpful in chat, I get banned. That is not even science. Do you guys even science much? You guys are retarded, are dumbest. You are what's wrong with humanity. And another thing, everyone says I sound like DITRH Dave. Listen, you're listening to the show and him. Now listen to me. I sound nothing like that New York lispy Jew-sounding idiot. So that's that. And also, I don't look anything like him. Some people say I look like Mitchell from Australia. That's a possibility. Besides that, you guys don't want to learn anything new. So I'm out of here. You guys off. Actually, there's a second one I think it's
we
from
don't do
him
second
also.
ones.
You know what? I'm kind of interested. Hold on. Hey, one more note here. Baller Dave back. You guys are so dumb. All of you are ridiculous. But that Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app, I can't stop looking at it every day. It amazes me. Those videos you put up, ridiculous, but, you know, they make you think. Maybe Baller Dave's coming around.
Well, maybe, you know, I had a conversation the other day, and actually he's sick. He's not feeling very well, so I don't know. I hope he's doing okay.
Actually, I heard that he was in El Paso and got shot 33 times, but it didn't hit any vital organs, and they released him from the hospital quickly.
It was some of the early footage. I thought I saw him there, but I can't find the clip anymore. Amazing.
All right.
I'm not sure if it was definitely West Texas. I don't know if it was actually the city that Dave mentioned. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep this on YouTube.
I get it. Matt, anything else before we wrap this one up?
The only thing I'd like to add is that tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of the day I met Jess at the Flat Earth Conference in Edmonton.
And being the Christian that you are, you're pregnant, married, and
right.
ready to start your second child, right?
Yeah.
You do know that you have to wait until she gives birth before you can impregnate her again.
Right, but I can still practice, right?
Okay. Yes, perhaps.
Okay.
TMI.
Yeah, okay. TMIDITRH BD.
All right, guys. Anything else?
No, that's it. We really appreciate people telling us that they miss the podcast, so we're happy to get some more out when we can.
I appreciate Sunscreen Annie telling us that she's okay with it. It's the summer. Enjoy yourselves.
Not only do I appreciate that, but also people saying, hey, it's okay, especially Sunscreen Annie.
All right, everybody. We will see you when we see you. Later.
All righty.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Have you ever dreamed of going up to outer space? Or maybe meeting other beings from another place? Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? Then you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it? You feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened. Listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. But then you wake up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball. But it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
History has been rewritten by winners of wars. The Jesuit order, Khazars, Freemasons, and more. They pulled the veil over our eyes and it's time to awaken. Through organized indoctrination, our minds have been taken. It's time we take our power back and we rescue our people. The Vatican and the bankers are like Resident Evil. They may have had the greatest plan that was ever concocted, but Illuminati never thought that they'd ever be spotted. They're manufacturing reality all in our heads. They tell you if the earth is flat then you'll fall off the edge. But if it is a spinning ball, you won't fall off it then. And gravity is our imaginary magic friend. Why is water always flat when unmanipulated? Why are pictures of the earth computer generated? Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
God is being hidden from us. There is no proof that everything that we see today is the result of the Big Bang, which claims that nothing exploded into everything. That's absolutely absurd. Humans did not evolve over millions of years from ape-like creatures. Where are the countless missing links? Where's a creature that looks like it's in between apes and humans? There aren't any. And gravity is complete nonsense. You aren't stuck to the side of a spinning ball right now that's tilting, wobbling, and flying through outer space at over 500,000 miles per hour. Space doesn't exist. When you look up at the night sky, what you are seeing is the handiwork of our Creator. Stars embedded in the firmament. Planets are called wandering stars because they move differently than the rest of the stars. Earth is not a planet, Earth is a plane, and the planets are just luminaries in the night sky. We aren't floating around in outer space. Earth is a level and motionless plane, and it's covered by a dome. If you take the time to look at all this seriously, you'll see that you are being separated from the creation, and therefore separated from our Creator. Praise God.
Dear NASA, it's becoming 100% crystal clear that you and the other space programs that are in operation are connected and are deceiving the entire world. More and more people are waking up every single day, and we're now able to see right through you. But what we really want to know is, why are you lying? And did you really think that you would get away with it? It's time to pack all your stuff and go. Sincerely, the men, women, and children of this earth, our beautiful, beautiful flat earth.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Houston, we have a problem. Problem. Houston, we have a problem. 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 Problem
problem.